Hello and welcome to another Looney Tunes review video. If you are new to the channel, make sure you subscribe to follow my journey to review all 1000 Looney Tunes shorts and give this video a like as well. So this is a review for Porky and Daffy, released in 1938. It's the 209th in the series and it's directed by Bob Clampett. You can find this short on the Porky Pig 101 DVD set. However, since that set was released, they did a beautiful new HD restoration, which is what I'll be using in this review. So enjoy. So in case you haven't seen this one, and you can watch it in full on HBO Max, it's under copyright so I can't show the full cartoon here on YouTube, but essentially Porky sees an ad for a boxing match where the champ looks rather in a sorry state based on that picture. So they go to the boxing match, he volunteers Daffy to join in on the fight, the champ is revealed to be something more than what that picture first revealed, and, well, it's gag after gag in the boxing ring. What you're going to see is a re-edit of the original audio commentary I did with Blue Genocide, and also we discussed the short afterwards amongst other things. Now the audio is not as good because we did it through Zoom versus the technology that I use now. Also you'll hear a snippet from the Clampett Part 1 retrospective where my good friend Fox and the Fix gives his thoughts on this short, and yeah, this is a nice long video for you, so grab some popcorn and enjoy. And with me today we have Blue Genesee. Say hi.
Hi.
This is only the third Daffy Duck cartoon, so there you go. It's pretty interesting there, and it's the first Bob Clampett Daffy. It's amazing.
I love the way Clampett modeled Daffy with the beak always open and in a kind of a V shape. I always liked how it really suits him. It's not in too many of these shorts. I think by 1940 it's completely gone.
I think that this part here is actually a repeated animation where Buddy's Showboat, where the crowd's entering to see the show as well. So there you go. Because I've been noticing when doing these commentaries in order, I've noticed a lot of repeated animation. And yeah, that was one of them I actually picked up on. Yes, I thought, hang on, I've seen that crowd before, and yeah, it looks like me after I eat a big pizza, you know, I just get all. But I just love the look at the animation here, just to
when he uses it.
Yeah, it's just amazing. I like how it's got human dimensions. Obviously, it's got the chicken feet, chicken head, but the rest is a muscle bound. So just absolutely ridiculous. This short shares one idea with the Three Stooges short called Punch Drunks. I don't know if you've seen it.
I was going to bring that up too. I had that written down here.
Yeah.
That was the second Three Stooges short.
Yep, one of my favorites.
It's a great one.
I've seen
the whole premise. Sorry, I'll let you go.
No. I was going to say, I've seen every single Three Stooges, and that still remains one of my favorites. Yes, even the lousy Joe Bessner ones.
This gag right here, I'm sure I saw this in the Woody Woodpecker later on.
Probably. A lot of the gags tend to be shared amongst a lot of people, but
I never realized it until I started watching more of the early stuff, that how much Woody took from the early Daffys, which makes sense because Ben Hardaway left Warner Brothers and started Atlantis Studio, and basically took a lot of the gags he saw here, not necessarily that he wrote, but
for sure. But I've been told, for the longest time, Bob Clampett would just pretty much write the cartoon himself before he had his own writing team, and and this cartoon definitely suggests that he was still doing that, because this is just a simple premise, and he just wrote gag after gag after gag.
Yeah, this it's really hard to do a commentary on a Clampett short because it's just the smug look on his face right there.
Yeah, and there's
the Clampett shorts always have really good gags throughout them. It makes it hard to talk in a coherent way without breaking out in laughter, I find.
Of course. Hence why after this commentary we'll have a little discussion on both on this short and also the earlier Daffys, and how in only 3 shorts Daffy's pretty much well established, at least until the Chuck Jones reinvention later on.
Yeah, it even took Bugs way longer to get there than Daffy did. Oh, man. He's just going for a home run. Yeah.
Yeah, why not?
Victory.
Why not?
The fastest count ever.
Definitely. Alright, so there were two things I missed last time I took a look at this. First of all is this reference.
All done? Sold to the American Tabasco.
So as I understand it, that's a reference to a song from 1938 called Sold American, which was based off the American Tobacco Company jingle that was around at the time. If I am wrong about that, please correct me in the comments below. Now see if you can guess what Daffy says here.
Funny bird in the pelican, his beak can hold more than his belly can.
Let's try that again.
Funny bird in the pelican, his beak can hold more than his belly can.
Now I believe he's saying, funny bird is a pelican, his beak can hold more than his belly can. Now that appears to be based off of an actual poem. A wonderful bird is the pelican, his beak can hold more than his belly can. He can hold in his beak enough food for a week. And another version is, a funny old bird is a pelican, his beak can hold more than his belly can. He can hold in his beak, but I don't know how the hell he can. It should also be apparent that I'm no poetry guy with the way I butchered those poems. So now here is my good friend Fox in a Fix giving his opinion on this cartoon, which comes from the Bob Clampett retrospective video I did. If you haven't checked that out, well, make sure you put aside some time for that, as it's about an hour or so long, but we go through all of the Bob Clampett cartoons, black and white in part 1 and colour in part 2. Fox, what are your thoughts on Porky and Daffy?
Well, almost the same as yours, because I was gonna say, everyone that is not familiar with this one, please go watch it, because it's everything you would expect and more. To me, this is the true first Clampett Daffy cartoon. You know, when it was restored in HD last year, it surprised me how hard it made me laugh, because I had seen it once before in the Porky 101 DVD, but it looks really good. Did I say Porky's Party was the best Clampett Jones collab? Forget that one, it's this one.
Yes. And now you're going to see a discussion that me and Blue Genocide did after the original audio commentary. Again, it was done through Zoom, so the audio isn't the best, so apologies for that. So you'll see me on camera, and you'll see Blue's very, very old avatar, but that can't really be helped. So we also discussed the early Daffy Ducks, because as mentioned in the commentary, this is the third Daffy appearance. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed the conversation we did.
You were laughing pretty much like throughout the second half there.
Oh, it's a great cartoon, and I think, yeah, as I mentioned, Bob Clampett at this point was just doing lots of gags, and he said in an interview once, and I mentioned this in the previous commentary, if you you might remember this, that he, for one cartoon, he was literally writing the gags. Every time he was at a stoplight in his car, he would just, on the other seat, just draw the gags. And
I think I remember I was listening to this Bugs Bunny Superstar commentary. I was listening to the producer talk about talking to Clampett, and he said that he wrote most of his gags in his car.
Yeah. So this was only the third Daffy. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah, the third Daffy, and they've already nailed it. And I don't know. Maybe you can tell me, which was the next Daffy?
The next one, we'll have to look it up. I mean, this is the beauty part about having a dual monitor setup. So I'll have a look, because I know I'm looking forward to doing Porky and Wacky Land. That's coming up very soon. I'm really excited to do that. The Daffy Doc, I think, is the next one.
Okay, that's a great one too.
And then Daffy Duck in Hollywood. So we've got two great ones. I think those are the only two from what I can see in this list.
There might be. What about Daffy Duck and the Dinosaur? I thought that was also 1938.
No, it's 39.
Okay.
Because that's I think a Chuck Jones one, isn't it? Off memory. I remember seeing that one as a kid a lot. I do like that one.
Yeah, I think that might be a Chuck Jones. Because I was trying to think of who the next director up would be, but it's another Clampett.
Yeah. Daffy Duck's definitely Clampett, and boy, I love that one as well. It's just
that one's great.
I can't wait to do that. Can't wait to do that one. And Daffy Duck in Hollywood's just a childhood staple of mine. It's a little different, but hey, it's Tex Avery, so
Avery got back to do it, and I don't know. So another thing I put down here right before I started is that they definitely would do this boxing scenario again with Daffy. I believe it's in To Duck or Not to Duck, and I believe that's a Freeling short. I could be wrong on that.
I think it is a Freeling one off memory, because I don't recall it being. Well, I mean, I can just look it up now. I mean, I've got my phone as well, so that's pretty good. So, but I think it's Freeling, but I could be wrong. So To Duck. No, Chuck Jones.
Oh,
No,
it is.
It's Chuck
That's
Jones
Chuck
actually.
Jones one.
That's
Okay.
why I was sort of, I guess, a little bit confident it was Frizz, but obviously I'm not confident enough. I have to, but
You know
better
what?
look up.
Before I started really like looking down into like Looney Tunes facts, I always thought that a little bit of their work was reversed. Where I always thought Freeling was the one behind the Roadrunners. That's not the case at all.
Of course
I
not.
was completely off. I don't know why I do that, but I always thought the Tweeties were Chuck Jones, and I had them reversed in my head for the longest time. I don't know why, but I just felt that it suited more their styles, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, it's weird, but now you mention it, what would a Frizz Freeling Roadrunner cartoon look like? It would be very weird, wouldn't it? But going through the first three Daffy, so we mentioned, of course, how it's amazing how just in the third cartoon, Daffy's just about set until he's reinvented in the late 40s. It's amazing how with Porky, it took a little while. He started off with as like a school kid in Haven't Got a Hat. Then the different directors kind of did different things, and then now it seems to be at roughly the same-ish.
Most of the characters, besides like a couple that I can think of, they all had this little bit of growing pains. Like, I didn't know that like Pepe Le Pew, for example, that's another good one where he did not come out fully developed.
No.
The only he in the first one, the final gag is that he's been putting this accent on the whole time. He's really from like Boston or something. I remember I saw that in a commentary, and not a commentary, interview or something. And the only other character I can think of that had this like quick transition to being fully fleshed out is really just the Roadrunner and Coyote. That's probably why my brain jumped to it, was because the Fast and the Furious, that's the Roadrunner, that's the Coyote. Like, there's no
transition. Yeah, it's straight on, bang, just them.
And in the shorts, Porky's Duck Hunt, and Daffy and Egghead, or is it Egghead and Daffy?
Daffy Duck and Egghead, I think.
Yes, that sounds correct. Yes. So he's had 2 black and white cartoons, one by Clampett and one by Avery.
Well, colored by Avery, but yeah.
Yeah, and we've had a color by Avery now.
Yeah.
So the thing I had to bring up was that, I really liked, I don't know if this is the perfect time for this, but I really liked the colors, the watercolors that they did in Daffy Duck and Egghead, because the colors in that really pop. And that's another thing where they were transitioning with Daffy, was the neck thing. I always thought it was like tape. Yeah, the blue around his neck. I don't know if that was just a different idea that they were going for, because they were like, well, we have 3-strip Technicolor. We didn't have that for a whole lot of time. We had 2-strip. Let's play around with it. But, until Avery's later work that you're going to do, I believe he's got it back to being white like we expect it to be in that short, correct? I think.
Yeah, just about. Yeah, I think aside from minor bits of design, I think, Daffy's just about settled. I know they changed his color in Daffy Duck in Hollywood when he does his next color short.
What's interesting, though, is that they did experiment with his eyes. because there's a couple shorts in the 40s where he's got that like little bit of brown, or like, well, it's black and white, but like slightly less black, I guess,
Yeah.
around his eyes. Like I was watching this one short, I don't remember its name right now, where the premise is basically Daffy's married and he's about to have kids, and then the kids get kidnapped by a bunch of eagles, I believe. And in that short, he's got like brown all over his face, like somebody smeared mud on his face or something. And I know that didn't last very long, and I believe that was a Clampett cartoon. So he was experimenting with him a bit further beyond this point. But it's funny that, you know, third short, they've got it like just absolutely nailed.
Absolutely.
They would experiment further, but then they'd always keep coming back to this point.
Oh, exactly. And I think, you know, it shows how great the studio is, that they're not afraid to experiment a bit. I know the Disney studio would do similar, like they'll do some design tweaks, like, you know, the early Donalds look different than the later Donalds, although once they settle on Donald, they pretty much stay the same, but they do change Mickey a few times, and all that. So I think it's just one of those things where, as design tastes change over the years, like going from the modern style of the 30s to the 40s, like they might just be looking at it for a different look and seeing if it works or not, I guess. But
yeah, well, to be honest, I think the best Mickey design came out of the Carnival Kid. Like,
oh yes,
and Donald. I really like his design in the band concert, and I wish they just stuck with I just like the shape, because it's very similar to how Daffy is in this short. They're small. They have like long beaks, like comically long beaks.
Yeah.
And yeah, I like that design. And then they just kept making their bills shorter, you know, probably because they didn't want to draw that long beak every time. I mean, I don't really know what the decision for that was, but I think with Daffy, I could be wrong, I think I read somewhere that it was to make him look cuter.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's pretty much what it is. But I just liked the fact that these cartoons, especially ones now that Bob Clampett's teamed up Porky and Daffy, that it's now been revisited by the wonderful Looney Tunes cartoons series on HBO Max, and I think they're incredible.
Yeah, well, it's just great that we're finally getting some representation of the other directors' styles, because for the last like 30, 40 years, it's always been Jones and Freeling.
Yeah.
But now we can finally see some representation of Avery and Clampett, and more than the Wonderful World of Tex Avery. You know, just to stay on the same track, Bubble Dumb, where Daffy has that like episode with the gum.
I think Daffy works, and this is a great little segue, so thumbs up there, but to the fact that he works best, at least this wacky version of Daffy works best when teamed up with Porky, who's more grounded, and they just play off each other really, really well. And because up until this point, Porky's had Petunia Pig and of course the wonderful character of Gabby. But in this case, you had up until now also Porky. All they've been doing is just putting him in different situations and pairing him up with, I guess, other villain type characters as well. But in this cartoon, he finally has like a sidekick character, and it works. It works so well.
Yeah, Daffy, I think, works best when he has another character to work off of. He isn't really able to hold a cartoon by himself, and that's why, despite how you said that you think that Porky and Daffy work best together, I will agree on the Looney Tunes cartoons that they were probably the strongest, but I wasn't a big fan of the one with the tubs.
They aren't directly, the shower one, the split screen shower one. Okay.
I didn't think that one was as strong because it didn't really have them working off each other. It was mostly just the waters. They were separate. Yeah.
They were antagonizing each other kind of thing without realizing it.
Yeah, and I can see why people would really like that short, but in my opinion, the ones that were better were the ones where they were directly competing with each other, like
Mm.
Wet Cement, where they're still not aware, like Porky's not aware of Daffy until the very end,
Mm.
but his comeuppance is great.
So yeah, finalize this video, I'm gonna because you're a fellow YouTube commentator, and obviously people are wondering, well, who's this guy talking? But
Yeah.
but part of the reason I don't do this sort of part during the short is just because the short's only so long, and we want to talk about the short as we
Oh
go
yeah,
along.
no, like the short
Yeah.
already, we already had a lot to talk about beyond it, so
Yeah.
like.
Exactly. So, now you got your own YouTube channel as well, and I did mention that you do also some commentaries, but you also do other stuff, right? I mean, if you want to tell people what you also do.
Well, all right. So I'm Blue Genocide. I do all types of content on my channel. Commentaries, yes. I don't do it in an order like Anthony here does. But what I do is I just do any short that, I kind of want to, or I take a lot of recommendations. But I also do a lot of game stuff. I like to let's play, I like to stream, I like to basically do all kinds of game stuff. And I also do like full on reviews like you would see on like a channel like Cinemassacre and such like that. Cinemassacre was a huge influence. But yeah, you guys can find me at youtube.com/c/Blue Genocide.
I'll put a thing right here or here, wherever, but I will put a little badge somewhere there. But no, look, I will say I do enjoy your commentaries, and I sure, yeah, I'm doing my own thing, but I like hearing other voices. As long as we have fun, that's the main thing. I'm having fun. I'm sure you are as well.
Yeah, except I get to skip the censored 11 and stuff.
Yeah. But we'll probably leave it at there because I don't want the video going too long. But no, I appreciate you joining me on this one.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
That's all right. We'll definitely look at doing more if you're up for it. And
absolutely.
Yeah, and like I said, I've already put up your details. I'll put it in the description below. So I will say to everyone watching, give them some love. Even if I probably mispronounced the YouTube name earlier on.
No,
I think
it's no problem.
Wow, it's amazing how things just changed since then, but it's good to look at some of the older stuff and just see, where one has come from. But in terms of this cartoon, look, I still got to give it a rating, don't I? And I'm going to give it 9 out of 10. It is hilarious from start to finish, and it's one of the best of the early Clampetts when he was in his original unit. It's just non-stop thrills, and I absolutely love it. So yeah, 9 out of 10 for me for this one. So that'll do it for this one. I'm so glad that this one has been resurrected from being a commentary to now a full-fledged video with a few minor additions. But I hope you all enjoyed it. For those long-time viewers, I hope you enjoyed rewatching this and seeing just how things had changed since. But yeah, thank you all for watching, and until next time, take care.
One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You're out. That's all, folks.